What the heck is going to happen next? Somebody asked me today my vision of the future. And I told them I'm not a futurist. But here I'm going to give you something that I do see that may blow your socks off. So stay tuned to all of this. On Clubhouse today, someone asked me, what's your vision of the future? I don't want to hear your gloom and doom about the economy and all that. What's your vision? I thought about it for a second, and here's what I came up with. And it's amazing how all these pieces just came together. My vision is of a completely new, different education system, a different business world, a different education system of entrepreneurs teaching entrepreneurs how to be better entrepreneurs. Let me say it again. Entrepreneurs teaching other entrepreneurs how to be better entrepreneurs. Now, where did I come up with that? I came up with that because right now, our education system, as you've heard me say many times, has completely failed. Completely failed. 95% of most businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years. Why? Because they don't know what to do. Nobody teaches it. It's not taught in school. As a matter of fact, school teaches you exactly what not to do in business. How not to communicate, not to be responsible, not to collaborate, all of that stuff. However, today also, I happen to speak to over 200 trainers that I have personally trained in India. These people come together, a group called Game Changers. These are entrepreneurs that teach sales and marketing. They teach personal development. They teach business structure, systems, marketing, all kinds of branding, all kinds of things like this. And they are actually teaching entrepreneurs how to succeed. But they're all doing it individually. And so what I saw in this amazing time that we live in is that something has changed fairly dramatically. The old schools in the factory-like buildings, gone. The old public universities in the factory-like buildings, gone. Why? Because they're irrelevant now. Now, and if you are learning to be a specialist in the area of medicine or law or engineering, things like that, I get it. You do need to focus down and work on that kind of stuff. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to taking a product or a service or your idea to a marketplace, where are you going to find out how to do that? A lot of them will profess to say, well, we major in entrepreneurship and all this stuff. But you know what? It's very expensive, and I don't know that it even works that well. Why? Because the environment of school is not the environment of life. Someone asked me also today, they asked me, how do you know an entrepreneur when you meet one? I go, well, I can tell you what it's not. I know it's not because of their talent. I know it's not because of their skills necessarily. It's not because of their know-how. It's not because of the amount of money they have. I think it has to do with something inside, a grit, an ability to get up when you get knocked down and get up again when you get knocked down and get up again when you get, and just keep getting up until you persist. That is definitely not taught in school. But of the 5% that make it, that's what all 5% of them have. So my vision of the future is a different education system. It's entrepreneurs teaching entrepreneurs, business owners, how to be successful. Now, why do I say that? Well, years ago, I had the opportunity to work with a dear friend of mine. His name is Po Chung. He started a company called DHL International, amazing human being. And he and I talked about this, and he said it to me. He said it's a business owner's responsibility, not their duty, but their responsibility to teach what they know, particularly if they've been successful, to the people coming up. He says, otherwise it's lost, which is exactly what happens in business. Is a business owner successful? He goes away, his business goes away, and all his secrets go with him. So imagine now an education system where the school is the business, not the building. The school is the business, not the building. Michael Gerber, a great author of the book called The E-Myth, The Entrepreneurial Myth, years ago, he wrote a recent book about business, and he said business is a school. A school. Why? Because every day we learn lots of lessons in business. Lessons. And I said, well, that's awesome. But as I'm thinking about it, I'm going, well, if business teaches all these lessons, which it does, who's the teacher? Who's teaching it? And somebody said to me that, well, life is teaching the lessons. I go, no, it's not. Life is not teaching anybody anything. Life has no desire to teach you a lesson. All life is doing, all the universe is doing is providing you with the situation, the environment, the problem, and giving you an opportunity to go figure it out, allocate the resources and figure it out, and you either will or you won't. Life is not teaching you anything. You can learn from it, but the business owner, the person that's at risk, the person that put their heart and soul on the line, that's the teacher. They have the ability to do it if they have the skills to do this. So, long story short, what's my vision of the future? My vision of the future is entrepreneurs teaching other entrepreneurs how to succeed. I was just on a call today with a lot of my students in India, over 250 of them, a group called Game Changers, where they've all come together to celebrate their anniversary. These are all independent people teaching sales and marketing, teaching personal development, teaching branding, teaching all kinds of things to entrepreneurs, all independently. And they come together and they share ideas, which is great. I challenge them with a higher thought. I'm challenging you with the same one. And that is this. Imagine a world where there are no more traditional schools for entrepreneurs or for business owners. That in order to learn to get a degree or to get qualified as a business owner, you learn from other entrepreneurs who have been there, done that, real teachers, not fake teachers, not theoretical teachers, people that have done that. And if you're watching this still, if you're still watching this video and you're still intrigued, you are one of them. You are. Why? Because somewhere inside your DNA, you know that you've got some important knowledge and experience to share, even if you haven't been successful yet. Because you will be. Because you're going to continue to get up, and you're going to continue to learn, you're going to continue to learn from other people. So my experience is that the future of education is very, very different. The buildings will be gone. Entrepreneurs will be learning from other entrepreneurs. And the ultimate skill that an entrepreneur can learn is not just about how to sell, which they got to learn, not just about how to recruit and build a team and get them to run, that's critical too, but also to teach. Number 3 is to teach other people on your team how to succeed. Teach other people on your team how to succeed, and take it another level to teach other people, other entrepreneurs how to succeed. You know, I have a good friend who's a business partner of mine in Taiwan. We've been partners for over 10 years. He had a very, very small training company years ago when I met him, and we've worked together all these years, and he's grown substantially. His company's very successful. He may even be going public, he told me, within the next year or so. Here's what he does. He heard me talk about this crazy message. So what he's done is he's recruited some of the business owners of his community in Taiwan, successful ones, and he's brought them into his program, and he's taught them how to be even more successful. His goal is to make these people the most successful people in their industry by teaching them the business skills and the personal development skills they need to learn to be successful. And through trial and error, he has done it. So now what's happening? Those people are now coming back as volunteers as his coaches, teaching the next wave of entrepreneurs and the next and the next. He's building an army of successful. First of all, he's helping businesses become successful. Then he's taking those people, recruiting them back, and creating an army of volunteer coaches and trainers that are teaching other people how to be successful. That is the future of business. That is the future of education. See, I think that we're going through so many changes right now. We're going through so many ups and downs and ins and outs and what online schools and how's this work. You know what? I think it's all irrelevant. I think it's time for a quantum shift, a radical shift in how we look at education. Again, if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a specialist of some sort, then obviously you're going to go to certain institutions, and these are great research and development places. That stuff still needs to happen. But for the majority of the rest of us that simply have an idea and want to take it to the market, I believe that what Dr. Buckminster Fuller said many years ago, he said in the year 1980, he said that we have the opportunity to all of us on the planet to live at a higher standard of living than the highest standard of living available in the year 1900. In other words, we could all live, all 7 or 8 billion of us can live the standard of living of a billionaire. A billion. We don't have the cash of a billionaire. We wouldn't want it. But we have the lifestyle and the ease and the luxury of a billionaire. When he said that, it changed my life. And I always wonder how to do that. My company, Blair Singer Training Academy, we teach the best teachers, leaders, and facilitators in the world that change the marketplace. But in the last few weeks, the loops have begun to close. And as I saw the game changers all assembling to celebrate their wins and their anniversaries, as that woman asked me, what is the future? What do I see in the future? And I looked at the crumbling institutions of education and the outmoded lessons that they're teaching them. I go back to what Michael Gerber said. Michael Gerber, the great author of the E-Myth, wrote in one of his recent books, that business is a school. It's a school because it gives us lessons every day. Now, if the business is giving us lessons every day, who's teaching them? Who's making sure people learn them? Somebody said to me, well, life is teaching. I'm going, no, life doesn't have any investment. It has no desire to teach you any lessons. None. All life is doing is giving you the opportunity to learn. It's giving you the scenario, giving you the problem, and hopefully you'll go use your brain, use your team, use your resources, and solve the problem. Our job as human beings is to solve problems. That's why we run away from them so much, because we hate them, and that's why we're so good at fixing them. So I would say that the future of business and the future of education are one and the same. Business is now a school. School is now a business. And so if I want to I want to learn about sales and marketing, I go to work for this company, because that business owner who is now charged not only with running his business, but also charged with teaching other people what he knows. He's going to teach me how to sell and how to market. And this guy over here is going to teach me how to become a better leader. And so lo and behold, what's going to happen is that we have a planet filled with amazing entrepreneurs where not 95% of them fail in the first 3 years. What if even 65% of them succeeded in the first 3 years? What a concept. Because then what happens is the quality of life and the standard of living keeps going up, because more and more goods and services, creative and innovative ideas, goods and services go out into the market. Look, Elon Musk can only do so much on his own. He can buy only so much Bitcoin and produce so many cars and send spaceships off to Mars and beyond. That's one guy. Just think if you had a couple million people doing the same kinds of things, creating better goods and services and opportunities for other people. So anyway, this is a bit of a rant. But I'm going to leave you with this. If you are watching this still, you're still watching, then I know somewhere in your DNA, you know that you have important knowledge and experience to share. I encourage you to become a great teacher leader. Go to theblairsinger.com. Check out the website. There's a ton of great information on how you can learn to be a great leader and a teacher. And go back to, there's more videos here on YouTube about how to become a better presenter. But beyond all that, I'm going to say this, is if you are part of this movement, and I consider it a movement, you will be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. If you resist it and stay with the same old way, you will struggle. You will struggle. I'm not saying you will fail. I'm saying you will at least struggle. The future of business is not in the hands of the government. The future of education is not in the hands of the government. The future of education is in our hands. It's already happening. It's been happening for a long time. And now, because of the pandemic, a lot of people have come in, a lot of people have been weeded out, and now the good ones are surviving. If you want to be a part of those, and you want to be part of what the future of education looks like, let us know. Because right now, the world needs you more than ever. It needs great teachers and leaders. Again, one last time, the future of education is entrepreneurs teaching other entrepreneurs how to be great. Be amazing.